If God is my provider, where is the money? If you feel this statement or have ever wondered it, these 3 columns will give you the answer. At the end of all this, I'll show you just how wealthy you are. Now, I got these 3 columns from a really good book that I'm reading, and it's one of those books that help you prepare for your next phase in life. As we prepare, we must understand this first, that God is our provider. Even when we have all these talents and abilities and skills, these 3 columns will prove it. Income. Next is going to be gifts in kind. Third is going to be savings. It's not what you think. Under income, and I'm going to show you, right, what I mentioned in the beginning. Under income, write monthly income minus taxes and tithing. Let's just say it's $1,000 per month. $1,000. Now, if you don't pay tithes, you'll see that it will directly impact these other 2 columns as we keep going. In the second column, gifts in kind, write down goods or services that God gave you through other people. For example, you moved into a new apartment and the manager gave you $500 off the first month's rent. Or you go to the barbershop and your barber gives you a complimentary haircut, saving you $50. Maybe someone blessed you with a $100 ticket to a nice show. Gifts in kind. And if you can't think of any gifts in kind, just pay attention over the next month and jot them down as you receive them. So I'm gonna put $500. I'm gonna put $50 for the haircut, and I'm gonna put $100 for the ticket to the show. Now let's move on to the third column, savings. And before you think that this doesn't apply to you, yes, it does. This column isn't what you think, and it's so powerful. Think of what God has saved you from. In the book, the author P.B. Wilson gives some examples. What if you were all of a sudden sick? What would the hospital bill be that you were saved from? How much would that have cost you? How much would it cost to replace your car if your car was stolen? In this savings column, you would put, how much would it cost to replace your valuables if someone took your belongings from your home? How much would that cost that you didn't have to pay? Most of all, what if you weren't able-bodied and couldn't earn the income in column 1? You are able to earn the income, so the savings. Hospital bill, at least $5,000. Didn't have to pay it. And then if the car was stolen and had to replace it, let's just put $10,000. If someone took the belongings from your home, let's put $20,000. And if you weren't able-bodied and couldn't earn the money, what would that amount be? A lot of money. Now you're seeing the scope of everything, that money is not just what we earn, but it's what's given and what isn't taken away. The list we just did, when I completed my list, I realized I was very well off. And if you are stressed over money, it's likely that you haven't done this exercise. Not to say that this is going to be the solve to all of the money woes, but it helps to put things into perspective. Now, remember that I mentioned that the book explained that if you aren't a tither, that it could impact the other 2 columns. The gifts in kind and the savings column could be impacted if you aren't a tither. Why is that? Well, these are extra blessings from God, and He is more likely to bless those that are giving back to Him. Now, I have not always been a tither. As a kid, yes, I gave the $1 that my parents gave me to give as tithe and offering. But as a young adult, I fell off, and I also didn't have a church home. Well, anyway, once I did get a church home, I intermittently attended church, so I intermittently tithed. The amount that I came up with, my amount that I came up with. And I don't knock myself for doing that though, because it was a step in the right direction. I was a cheerful giver, and eventually I grew in my tithing. So I love what the author says about this, that God doesn't need our money, but tithing helps to keep us focused financially. And baby, when I tell you, I have had the most focus through tithing. I'm so much more careful about where I spend my money. When I wasn't tithing, I was just spending here, there, everywhere. Now, I was never a huge spender. I was always conscious about my money, but I didn't have the financial focus that I have now that I tithe. I'm more mindful. And based on the exercise in the book, when we tithe, it's our way of saying, God, your gift of health and strength enabled me to earn this money, and I thank you. I give to you 10% in recognition of the 100% that you gave to me. And I like what the author says that God's reply is to this. He says, test me in this, meaning tithing, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that you will not have room enough for it. As we grow into whatever our next phase of life is, whether it's marriage, starting a family, home ownership, it is important that we put to rest the issue of money because God is our provider. Now, stating that doesn't mean we don't need to make some spending changes with our money. We should pay off our debt and track our money with a budget to see where our money is going instead of wondering where it went. The time to fix your money is now. No matter what new phase of life you desire or going into, when you steward your money with good principles, it will make that new wonderful phase that you're going to enter that much sweeter. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.